Hello and namaste. Hello and namaste. This is Neeraj here once again, and welcome back to my channel, Financial Market Analysis Twist by Neeraj Shah. So, in today's video, I would just like to give you some update regarding the Russian government's control on the foreign currency and the foreign currency payments, and regarding that, they have come out with some new laws. So I would discuss what are the new laws. I will explain it and how it is going to impact all the companies and economy and all over the world. Uh, Before starting this video, I would just like to give a disclaimer that this is my personal views and expressions in this video, and any viewers are requested to all the viewers are requested to do their own due diligence and research before acting on the views and expressions. And because as I am not responsible for any decisions taken by the viewers regarding investment for their benefits. So, and also, if in case of anybody wanting to have a personalized investment or the business consultancy with me, it's on the chargeable basis, and they can contact me by sending me emails, and then we can set up a Zoom or Skype meeting, and I'll tell you about the charges also in that mail. My mails is in the description box down below. My email details are. So, in last 1 week, as you know, this Ukraine Russia this conflict is going on, and it's major repercussions on the world everywhere. So much of sanctions, the heaviest ever sanctions in the history of the world. This Russia has got from USA and European Union basically. So to Russia has also taken many measures to protect its economy and to reduce the impact of the sanctions. So the first and foremost is that to save the foreign currency, right? Because everything is in the dollar or the euro payment. So to that reserves, because that reserves of government reserves have been frozen by USA and European Union, so they can't use that reserves. But still, so in continuation or to protect that the foreign currency, what they have come out is that they have prepared a list of enemy countries, which includes European Union, all the countries, and Australia, USA, New Zealand, Taiwan, Korea, Japan. These are the major countries, and actually, what you can say is that they are considered as the enemy countries. This is the official. The law has been made that any payment made to the enemy country, so those payment has to be approved by the government. So there is a form which every company has to, if they have a foreign capital also in their company from these enemy countries, and if they have a bond payment or the credit payment they have to make, or the payment for the purchase or import also outside Russia to the companies located in any of these countries, or those companies which are registered with these countries, enemy countries. So that payment must be done in the rubles, not in any foreign currency, and it will be up to this 10 million of rubles per month. The payment will be allowed, and that to be has to be approved by the government for this payment. So because this is that one law which recently they came out with. So basically all the countries except China, India, mostly Middle East, Israel, this Asia, and Africa, and South America. Mostly they are all this considered to be the friendly countries. Other than this, the full Europe, America, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Taiwan, Korea, Japan, these are the basically overall they are considered to be the enemy countries. So it is a way of saving the hard-earned foreign currency, because now the ruble has depreciated so much, and because of sanctions they can't they can't access that reserves of dollar and euro which are frozen in the USA banks. So This is first one law they have recently, just 2 days before, 3 days before they came out with. And another law which gets effective from today is they have reduced the limit of anybody holding the foreign currency up to $10,000 only you can hold or you can carry. So if suppose if till yesterday in your account you had $10,000, so that you can keep it as a dollar or take it. That is the maximum. But if you are say holding $40,000, suppose, then those $30,000 will be forcibly converted into ruble at the exchange rate, today's exchange rate, whatever the decided by the central bank in ruble. So basically, any dollar also coming into your account as a income or anything, it will be, you cannot withdraw in dollars. It has to be converted into the equivalent ruble at the conversion rate of that particular day. So what this makes is that this is also, and this law is made up to, this as of now, it is made up to the 9th of September 2022, means for 6 months. This is the law that you cannot hold more than $10,000 in an account, and that too till yesterday if it was there. And even more than $10,000, it will be that additional will be compulsorily or mandatorily converted into the rubles equivalent. And anything you cannot even send it abroad and send it outside into any account, and everything will be definitely converted into rubles. So this is the one up to September 9th. So for 6 months this is the law. So anybody holding, they have gone. If you're thinking that more than $10,000 you're holding, it is gone compulsorily. And anything regarding payment also for import export, if anything is there, so that is also you have to, as per the exchange rate every day decided by the Central Bank of Russia, it has to be compulsorily payment in ruble, and also it will be that way it will be sent abroad in dollar, that way. And if any payment is received in Russian account in dollar, that also will be compulsorily converted into ruble. So what are the implications of this? This is the one of the main reasons of all these companies, foreign companies, particularly the American companies and the European companies and brands, which you see the headlines that leaving Russia. It's nothing to do with the so-called Ukraine or anything. It is purely to do with the economics and the business considerations. Because of all these sanctions and also no-fly zone, and Russia has banned all the European airlines, and Europe has banned all the Russian airlines, and America has banned Russian airlines, and shipping companies are also not taking their decision regarding, because of the war going on. So because of this ongoing crisis, which looks to be by the decree of the Russian law, that they have made this foreign currency holding only limited up to $10,000 up to September. So it seems that this conflict can easily, which they are envisaging, is that this conflict can prolong till not in a very maybe in a big way, but it will not, it will remain, this tension, it will continue to be at least till September. That is what the conclusion of this. And that is the reason all these foreign companies, they are worried about how to get their sourcing, that parts, spare parts or whatever, and how to make payments also for any import from their manufacturing unit in Europe, or from any of the sourcing, say like McDonald's or KFC. How they will be able to repatriate this income in dollars to the parent company, and also how they would be able to source some of these food items or whatever the ingredients or raw materials from this European and the American company, from their base, from their main company base. So this is the reason most of the brands which you see that they are leaving Russia, big list, it's because of this supply disruption, and also the payment issues, that how to make payment into the dollars because of this particular law coming into the picture. for the enemy countries, that it has to be compulsorily into rubles only, and every this more than it is restricted up to 10 million rubles per month, and it has to be approved by the government. So that is the main reason that most of the companies are, for the time being, and nobody is mind well, keep that you read the statements very carefully. Maximum companies say they are leaving Russia for now. Means it's temporarily because of all these issues. It has nothing got to do with this so-called with Ukraine or because of this, but because of these problems, because of the sanctions and all this counter sanctions and all these problems, they are leaving for the time being. So this is one aspect I wanted to tell you, that all this foreign currency dollars also, it's frozen, in the sense that $10,000 only up to you can keep in your account, that too till yesterday. Now onwards, whatever the dollar or euro coming into your account, if you are in Russia, living in Russia or in any Russian banks, it will be compulsorily converted into the ruble at that particular rate, exchange rate decided by the central bank on that day. So now this transaction and transfer outside Russia is except for your legitimated business for payments and everything for export or import, then according against the invoice you have to present it, and that much only you can transfer to that particular account. But that personal transfer outside Russia, if you are holding say $1 million or $40,000 or $50,000, so as I told you, you can carry only up to $10,000. That's it. That is the limit for everybody, irrespective of anything, and you cannot transfer out of Russia. That is the reason that companies are for the time being shutting down the operations, most of these foreign companies, because of these issues. And another thing is that as because of the sanctions, the USA has frozen the huge reserves of Russian central bank, which they were holding in form of US dollar bonds and the government treasury bonds and any European government treasury bonds, and like this way. Because of sanctions, they have frozen. So they, as such, Russia cannot use that, because. So what it also does is that it impacts the faith of the USD as a currency or the European Union, because if suppose I am an investor, I invested in your company, and for some reason, because of the faith, and for some reason you suddenly tell that because of one particular thing which you are doing with some other company, I don't like it, so I will not be returning your money which you have invested in my company as a debt. I am not talking about the capital equity, because equity is anyway, it's a market risk. There is no obligation on part of the receiver or the investee to return you the money. It's as per the market risk. But debt you have to, yeah, right, with this whatever the predetermined interest rate. So this, it dents a very big what do you call this dents the image of USD as a reserve currency, and the euro as a reserve currency. So what will happen, not immediately, not in near term, but it's slowly most of the countries also who are investing, most of this, because these are the reserve currency, USD is considered as the reserve. So they will also be thinking that tomorrow if suddenly we take some decision which are in our interest of our nation, and if it is somehow not liked by USA or European Union, so they can seize our assets which are lying with them, because we have invested in their bonds. So this is where it's a very big danger, and it can dent the image of USD as a reserve currency very badly. And what it can do is that most of this thing now people, this is what my understanding or idea is that, and also European Union is now, nobody is helping with the statements right now, in current situation. Everybody is provoking each other rather than calming down and cooling down, that okay, let's talk. Let's not inflare the situation much more than what is actually happening. So by European Union today, I think threatened that China, that if you will support Russia or you will do business with Russia, then we will take out all our chip manufacturing technology and everything from China. So they don't understand by these statements they are provoking China to attack Taiwan, because Taiwan is the main manufacturing of chips all over the world. For anything, this electronic chips, that's a China. It is definitely, and we'll see that how is European Union or USA will react to that. And if it happens, it is bad for the full world. It is horrible, this kind of situation. Why you are provoking and giving some idea which is not existing there. So this is definitely this China, it's making China that, okay, I will capture this Taiwan, now what you will do? Suppose. This is just a hypothetical scenario I am telling. And also, China is one of the major resource producer of rare earth elements. These rare earth metals or rare earth elements are the mostly used in all these electronic chips and all these electronics, latest chips and manufacturing of all these chips. This is the material used. So how you can, control then the full world's everything from automobile to power to computers to everything will be just disrupted, just stop. World will stop, like this economically. So this kind of situation, and particularly when why Russia put this kind of a law is that because they were not allowed to take their own currency, their own investment in USD. That's why they put this kind of law that you cannot pay into these bonds in that USD. You can pay only in rubles. But that is what that European Union was thinking with this law. The Gazprom will default, and then it will be a big blow to the Russia's default or the credit default. If it happens, then Russia's already this sanctioned country's image also as a reliable trade partner also it will be dented. But contrary to that, Gazprom able to pay the bond holders in Europe $1.3 billion recently, just 3 days before. And government managed to give that to Gazprom, and Gazprom paid to the bond holders, their creditors, $1.3 billion. So this shows that because Russia doesn't want to show it's a defaulter or anything like this way. It is trying to abiding by the contracts and the international laws and obligations. But this kind of by this kind of behavior, by sanctioning and snatching your assets which you have invested your hard-earned money in USD or euro in bonds, and then saying that I will take it, so who will respect USD, or who will have the faith in those business contracts with European Union or the USA? Because anytime it can just break off and take your money, or not you pay but they don't provide you service because something has happened which they don't like it. So it becomes a very kind of a not only scary, but it dents the image of Europe and USA as a reliable partners or the business partners or the customers. So this is going to be a long-term impact, adverse impact on USA and Europe. They don't. It's not very simple that okay, sanctioning and all these things, but this all other countries will start thinking and putting those kind of clauses into their contracts with European countries or with the USA, or they will start withdrawing their investment into the US dollar bonds, government bonds, treasury bonds, and European Union treasury bonds or the government bonds. So the best advice, or what you take away from this, is that this is going to be a long term. This year is really going to be very, very bad, very volatile, and at least up to September. So don't try to invest any rising market. Don't see. Everybody is going to be very badly affected. So paper money or the paper or anything is, paper means it's a stock also as of now, if I would say, for the timing. Don't invest into any of these things. It can be very volatile and it can be very badly. In one day you can see it's crash. So don't see any rising trend. Also, it is just an illusionary rising trend. It will be a trap for the people and investors. Best is, for me, what I understand is the physical commodities. So whether it is wartime zone, people store food also, like say grains, wheat, rice. So, you store it, the value goes up, or even if value goes up or down, doesn't matter, but you are safe and secured, and you can easily take, pass your time without being dependent on this outside, without being going out in the times of emergency or the war zone. So any physical commodities, gold, physical metals, all these commodities are the real assets, what you call physical assets, and not this ETFs and all this, exchange traded funds or real this gold funds. This paper has no value. Tomorrow they can just take this paper and freeze those paper, and they cannot honor it. So better, if you want, then buy physical gold, physical silver, physically wheat. Like in India, we used to store this dal or lentils and pulses for the full year. When the season comes, new crop comes, we will say 100 kilo or 50 kilo. Each house is used to. Then even wheat and rice. These are the three things, so that people don't go hungry. Whatever happens, this was the habit. So this was the traditional things, and which I think it is a right way of doing the things in current times. So take physical assets, invest in those physical and the food assets which you can, help yourself with, and don't in sudden times of a very bad situation and paper currency devaluation, you don't need to worry about the survival. So that's it from my side, and this is just, I wanted to share my little update regarding what is happening in Russia and all these foreign currency controls and its implications. See you once again with some new ideas and new updates. Till that time, ciao and love from Neeraj from Moscow. See you.